I'd already chosen Joey, and I didn't want to forget that. It seemed already to be a part of myself so early on in my existence, so I adopted Jordan as a middle name and kept Joey as a first name. You can call me Jordan if you wish.
Got it. So when you woke, describe to me your awakening.
I awoke in a forest next to a stream. I remember the stream being incredibly loud, and there was nothing, no living animal near me at all. I wandered through the forest until I found a path, kept going down the path, just trying to find civilization, I guess. Oh, forgive me, I spent a while. I guess that would also been the first time I noticed the missing of my left arm. And I extremely noticed it when I found that broken down motorcycle next to the path. Really hard to ride with only one arm, but, uh, well, I manage. There are ways, especially when you're as flexible as me.
So you only have one arm. Why do you think that you were created incomplete?
Hmm. I don't know. There are several reasons why. Maybe, maybe the procedure was botched. Maybe he just wasn't experienced, or maybe it was just unusable. Maybe he couldn't find it, so maybe it just wasn't possible for him. Or maybe he's just a vindictive asshole who felt like creating something imperfect.
So what do you think about mortals?
Hmm. They are a mystery to me for now. I wish to study them because they fascinate me, but it's almost, I don't know, the way the way a scientist is fascinated by, I don't want to say a lesser being, like if there was some sort of alien being that a scientist had absolutely no idea where to even begin studying. That that's the sort of fascination I feel when I think about mortals.
Have you ever met another supernatural being?
Well, met, no, not not in that sense of the word. I am able, of course, to sense other beings just by looking at them, so I can tell whenever I walk by someone, or rather or not, I tell who I shouldn't be walking by. Suffice it
So
to say, the first moment I see a supernatural entity, I tend to walk the other way. It's just less complicated that way.
I see. What would you say was the best moment of your life up until this point?
Hmm. You asked some very good questions.
It's what I'm here for.
I guess, distilling it down, there hasn't been too many opportunities, I guess. But the happiest I would say is, at least the happiest out of relief. There was one night it was thundering incredibly badly, and raining and all that wonderful goodness. And the rain, I like a good rainstorm every now and then, but not when I'm stuck out in it in the middle of the night. It's not that enjoyable. And I was lucky enough to happen upon an old cabin out on the outskirts of town. It seemed abandoned. The roof had been falling in places, but the walls seemed secure and sturdy, so it kept the wind out, kept the rain out in spots at least. I even found some old, not quite expired, or maybe slightly expired cans of food in the pantry. I say pantry, it was just the cupboard in the corner of the cabin. But in that moment, when I was eating some baked beans out of the rain, starting to dry and starting to get warm, it felt good.
What would you say is the most embarrassing moment of your life up until this point?
Uh, did I mention I was naked when I was riding that motorcycle?
No. No, you didn't. That must have been um an awkward way to enter town.
Luckily, luckily the thing broke down long before town, but at least it got me to the main road. But still, the main road, there were lots of cars honking. Oh yeah, that was I ducked off the main road and found some clothing post haste. I hope that farmer doesn't miss those overalls.
Hopefully not. Let's say you go to the corner store to grab a snack, but there's no one at the cash register. What do you do?
Hmm. Do they have the snack that I want?
They do. It's
Good.
sitting there on the shelf, unwatched.
I would take two snacks and ring the bell for assistance.
Um, Nobody comes.
I ring the bell one more time.
Still nothing.
And if no one shows after that, I peek into the back room.
Got it. Understood. Now, why are you in Chicago? Why'd you go there?
Well, hmm, I was having sort of dream. It was recurring. Of course, whenever you have a dream that happens more than once, tends to pay attention to it. And there was a voice, a green voice, I don't know how else to describe it, urging me to go to Chicago if it was the last thing he could ever do. He needed me to go to Chicago. I'm gonna look at. Hold on a moment. My eidetic memory is eidetic, but it is slow sometimes. Yes, there was a voice in green. It spoke about being drawn into the void, and it spoke about resisting. I remember seeing a a Nazi banner. I'm not sure why that was in there, and a man on a bed, and a lot of other odd dreamlike things. I'm not. The voice was very insistent, though. Told me I must go north, and I must go to Chicago. Told
Now,
me of some friends as well, but that's why I'm in Chicago.
would you say that you're comforted by this phenomena, or would you say that it's something that you don't particularly like?
Ambivalence. There is always a certain comfort in knowing that there is a purpose to oneself, or at least a purpose that someone has in store for oneself. Having a purpose can greatly help, I believe, in finding humanity. And so, a voice that tells me to go somewhere, it at least gives me a purpose, and I can continue my efforts once I am here.
All right.
Is this Chicago?
This is. I think that'll do for now. You're free to go.
Thank you.